Amazing.
It's amazing.
It's a different life. It's a different life. And I must say, the weight off my shoulders just to know that my daughter can walk to the park, especially now with this, where there's a will, there's a way. Don't give up hope. Australia is really a lovely country. It's a country of opportunity. If you teach your kids the correct principles and when you hold on to God, you will be fine. We do definitely have what it takes.
I'm Dr. Shamanita Blanche, ex-corporate and academical turned CEO and board member of several companies and mother of 4 little extraordinary kids. But it wasn't that long ago that I lacked the confidence, the know-how, and the time to focus on designing and really going after the life that I so wanted to live. A life of freedom, of fairness, and of being fair dinkum to who I really was and what I wanted to get out of this fleeting time that we have on Mother Earth. Fast forward to many lessons learned and moving halfway around the world to the most amazing country, you'll see the life that I now live. One that gives me more safety and freedom than I ever thought would be possible, and that really only existed as a daydream while I was living in South Africa. I created Shamini TV to give you true spot advice on how you can also live a life in this amazing country, and so that you can see how another couple like us now live in Australia with 4 little kids hearing down under. And I'll be providing you with step-by-step strategies so that you can make your Aussie dream a reality too. If you're a keen future Aussie who's looking to create a life that excites you and offers you safety, freedom, and opportunity, you have come to the right place, my friend. Welcome aboard.
Hi, Gerda. Thank you so much for joining us today, all the way from pretty Perth, where I am as well. How are you going?
Hi, Shamini. Yes, nice to meet you officially.
Thanks. Yes, you too. As you say, we've been friends, connections on Facebook in some kind of way, but we've never actually met in person. So it's lovely to see you and chat with you. And tell me, please, about the story that brought you to Australia. How did you guys make the move, and when did you come over?
Okay, we have a story of miracles. We really, if about 3 years ago you would have said that we would end up in Perth, I would say no. Actually, this morning I saw a Facebook post that I made many years ago about running next to the ocean, and I actually shared the memory saying I would never have guessed that this would actually come true. We were actually making plans to go to Slovenia, of all places, to be able to get a European passport for our daughter to be able to study there.
Wow.
Yes, and then my husband made an inquiry about an existing job that was available in Australia. We never ever considered Australia being actually too old for to do a visa application. And yes, to cut a long story short, that job was actually filled. And my husband at the time had a promotion in Joburg that he refused or declined at that stage. And then someone phoned him from here. We actually got a mail from here and said the person that the job was offered to declined, and would he be interested? And to us, it was an absolute miracle. And we just jumped at the opportunity. And yes, at that time, I was in a medical practice for 24 years. I had a huge practice going. I had a weight loss clinic. And we decided that even if I have to lose all of that, the opportunity is too huge. And we just packed our bags and we came. And we are now here. Hubby has made his 2 years because he came in advance or before us. And then we caught up with him 2 months later. So we will be in Perth for 2 years, the end of this month.
Wow, 2 years. To me, that feels like very fresh off the ship. And I'm sure that you feel it's been like such a long time already. Have you settled in? How does it feel to be in Australia?
I must honestly say we are very, very fortunate because literally we made it into Australia and then the borders closed. We came, Donnie was already working. He organized the rental for us. As you know, you first, you can apply for a school for your child in the area that you're located in. Yeah. So obviously was in year 10. It was a big move. She was in Helpmekaar College in Joburg, which is a very good private school in Johannesburg. She was doing extremely well there. It was a big worry for us bringing a 16-year-old over, uprooting them, coming here. I mean, 16 years, when you're 16 years old, you've got your friends, you've got your place in society, in your social circle, etc. But we then managed to get her into a good public school, because also the other challenge was that the year 10s normally choose their subjects in the beginning of the second half of the year. And for her to be able to get a place in a class, literally, for the subjects that she wanted to do. But we managed that, and then obviously the rental as well. And then she started school, which was, we were saying this morning, as tomorrow's their last day at school. I actually said to her this morning, she went all by herself on the bus the first day. I said to her, can you remember anything? And she said, not really, but maybe I don't want to remember that first day, feeling completely vulnerable, strange, so out of place. Wow. Anyhow, she settled in very nicely. She did extremely well. She's in Churchland Senior School, almost 3,000 kids in the school.
Yeah, and it's one of the best schools.
Yeah, and it's actually like a university campus almost, which was also a concern for us, is she not going to get lost? But through to South African blood, we've got the grit and we've got the fast bait and the hang in there. She did extremely well with the academics, and she actually got chosen as a leader, the school, as a leader at the school. Yes, we were so grateful for. So she settled in nicely. Donnie's working is enjoying his work. He's enjoying his colleagues, settled in very nicely. I'm a different story, because obviously coming from a medical profession, it's not easy to get back into the profession in Australia. You have to do it. I'm sure everybody knows you have to reset exams, and then you've got to work rural, etc. So I just decided that at this point in time, I'm going to support the family and my daughter just to get through a year 12. And I'm going to reinvent myself. So
that's exciting. Tell us about it. But firstly, you said medical profession. So which aspect of the medical profession? Because there's a range that it could be.
Yes. I was a general practitioner. And like I said, I had a medical weight loss clinic as well. I was very involved in that. I was actually involved with 2 reality TV series that we did in South Africa. I actually had to pull out the 3rd one because the offer came unexpectedly. We were busy with planning a 3rd one. And I actually at the time said to my colleagues, I don't feel that it's right for me to do this series and then leave the country, and then when it's brought, when it's on, I'm not even there. So I love that. And that's the kind of sacrifices we make to be able to give our kids a better life, safer life, equal opportunities.
Do you mind sharing with us how old you are, Gerda?
I'm turning 53 the end of the year.
And
so and this is
husband?
Why he's 53 already.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's actually important, because it's a story of hope for people that they don't qualify. Really, one shouldn't give up hope.
Absolutely, I agree with you, and that's also the reason I'm asking, besides the fact that I think you look fabulous for 53, by the way. Wow. Well, if that's what works, then that's what works. You should tell me all your secrets. But Gerda, yes, and it's also a very important aspect, but except for over and above the fact that it's a message of hope, but the fact that you are showing that you are prepared to give up some things that obviously was very important to you as a person. I mean, being a general practitioner is not an occupation that just rolls around, comes around over your path and you just become like, it's a very big commitment to do, and you're very involved in it. And the fact that you put your family's needs and safety and all those things first over and above your potential needs at that point in time it says a lot about you. So kudos to you for doing that. But Being in Australia, as you said, you have all these opportunities that come your way. So reinventing yourself is a very real thing that a lot of people do in Australia.
Yeah.
I have reinvented myself several times.
Yeah.
So tell us, what's the exciting new step, if you're prepared to share with us?
Yes, it'd be very nice. First of all, I'm busy with the Whimsical Duchess of Oz, which is fine art fabrics. You can even see some of the upholstery there at the back, that chair there. So that is that's just beautiful things. Everything nowadays so neutral and almost pale and grey. And I think we need a bit of colour. So that's just beautiful. And, it's actually stressless and just bringing joy into people's lives. We do all sorts of things. Then I decided to do some life coaching, and two things are coming from this. First of all, I'm busy bringing or getting back into the weight loss industry, and I'm actually busy with bringing a weight loss clinic, starting it up again, building it back from the ground, starting with the basics. I will be able to do that. And I'm actually working on a weight loss protein shake and products to go with that, and obviously helping, the sooner you can get the handle on that, the quicker you will thrive. It goes from surviving to thriving, and it's absolutely possible. We have it in our, we as South Africans, we definitely have that.
We do, and Australia is giving us the fundamentals to do that with, because it's supporting you in so many aspects. If you fall,
absolutely.
There's a net that's going to catch you in this country. You will not hit the ground. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing.
That's awesome. And tell me a little bit, Gerda, about your visa application process. Did the employer do that for your husband?
Yes. We were very, very fortunate with the employer. We initially came over with a 482, which is the skilled visa. Okay. And for us, especially being so old, for me, it was really a stressful situation, because like I said to my husband, Donnie, I'm giving up a career. You don't, it's not like you walk into a job. It's something that you build over years. So I'm giving this up. We're coming over with a 4-year visa. There's no ways that I can go back and start from scratch in South Africa. So when we were here, obviously we cleared, we made sure with his job that the visa will lend us or give us the opportunity to apply for permanent residency later. But we were much more blessed than that. We were here for about 5 months. Donnie got an email from immigration telling him about this global expertise visa. And he actually didn't even tell me about that, because in retrospect, he said he thought he had to be either Chris Barnard or Elon Musk to be able to apply for that, But then a few months down the line, he spoke to someone else who just got permanent residency on this visa. And he said to him, no, it's absolutely possible. Yeah. And then obviously it was hard work to get all the paperwork together. And obviously he did do or did qualify on every level that they wanted him to qualify. You first have to hand in your documents, and then if they think that you stand a chance, they send you an invitation. And when you have the invitation, you can take it from there. So yes, we were not even a year in the country. We got permanent residency, and then obviously that weight comes off your shoulders.
Yes, absolutely. What is his profession then, or what is the talent in, if you don't mind sharing?
No, he's got a PhD in chemistry, but he's working in IT. He's working for SAP, the IT company. And he did his PhD in metals. That's got a lot to do with the mining here. So it was really by the grace of God that many years ago he studied that, and now it's combined with the IT, and we in a state where mining is important. So one thing led to the other, and we were really, really so fortunate. And like I said, another miracle for us.
That is beautiful. I love the story. And tell us about your daughter's settling in, other than you said that she settled in okay with school, but like a little bit about the coming into Australia. How did you convince her? What did you tell her? Why are you going to Australia?
She actually surprised us when she was here 8 or 9. One day when I picked her up from school at Helpmekaar, when she got into the car, and she's not an emotional child, she's actually quite level-headed. She actually burst into tears. And I said to her, what's happened? She said, we had history today, and our teacher showed us the parliament sitting in Cape Town. And she said to me, Mom, it's absolute chaos. How can those people govern our country? Mm-hmm. And then she said to us, I think we must leave.
Wow.
She had the insight to know that there's something better. Mm. And I think for the kids in South Africa, everyone is working so hard and has to be so on top of their game to be in the race for anything, which is a hard thing. And here, if you work hard, you will have the opportunity. There's not an extra factor. There's not an unfairness. And that is so nice to us as parents, knowing that she will be okay if she's prepared to work for what she wants.
Absolutely. Wow, that's awesome. It's great that she came from the realization in the first instance and then said it. So she basically sold the story to you guys by the sounds of it.
They work hard, they learn from their mistakes, and obviously you speak to teachers and say, this is not our first language. It's the first time that my child's been educated in English, and we just experience the teachers to be very helpful and accommodating.
That's great to hear. And may I add, Churchlands is a public school.
It's a public school?
Yeah. For those who are watching, it's not a private school. So Helpmekaar is a private school in South Africa. Yes. So you've come from a very prestigious private school in South Africa to a public school, but it's one of the best public schools. I know that. And as you say, you're still very impressed with the level of what's happening in Churchlands.
Absolutely. Yes, I actually volunteered this morning. I volunteer at the library there. And that is something that I can really recommend for anyone coming across is volunteering. Number one, we as a family decided that we're not going to come to Australia and build a mini South Africa here. We come to Australia, we embrace the opportunity, and we want to integrate in the community and also have our South African friends and our South African culture. And I must say, this is the one thing of the Australians that I really admire, and that is the way they encourage you to keep your culture and to really continue with your culture. Coming back to the embracing, we have very good relationships with all our Aussie neighbours, and it's a two-way direction. You have to do work as well, and connect with them. And it paid off, and I can really recommend that. And the other thing with the volunteering is obviously you learn so much about the community. You learn about the language, the local language, you understand the slang, you understand the way of thinking because it's completely different. And you broaden your horizons. And the more you do that, the more they accept you.
Absolutely. And tell me a little bit about what you decided to pack into your bags. Did you bring a container over, or just the bags in your hands, or how did you go with that decision process?
Yes, we see South Africans asking for advice all the time, and then quite often I think you go through stages. We were fortunate enough for the employer to sponsor a container. There was a stage when the container was on the way. I thought, I really don't know if I can cope with all the stuff that I've packed, because we do live lighter in Australia. Yeah. It is a case of the houses are smaller, but it's nice when it's smaller if you've got to clean it yourself. So, there are pros and cons. But in the end, it was nice for us to bring a few sentimental and good quality furniture across. I think that is something that I treasure now. I've got some of my granny's Karoo farm furniture here, and which obviously is priceless now. I really think it depends on the situation. Coming across, you have to get rid of your baggage, and sometimes it's getting rid of all your stuff as well and really making you begin. You know, it depends on your headspace. To go a bit minimalistic is really refreshing. If you've got less stuff, you can clean easier, less dust, less baggage, you know. So it really depends on how important your stuff is. Hello, gorgeous.
I've got a little friend to join us today. And okay, so you would pack the same things, but just a little bit less than what you brought.
I think not bulky stuff. This is actually, by the way, my surgery chair that I had in my rooms, and I couldn't.
I noticed it, and I'm like, oh, I like that one. I'm sure you didn't buy it here.
And my nice desk that I had in my practice, I brought along, and I'm happy with that, you know, because it's more a sentimental connection than anything else. I did leave some very nice choreographed leather couches in South Africa. I do miss them a lot, but they would have been too bulky for you. And you also anticipate the Aussies to behave in a certain way towards you, coming from the background that you do. And I was so ready to experience the feeling of, what are you doing, foreigner, in our country? You're going to take up space or a job or opportunity. So one of the big surprises to me was the Aussies saying to me, welcome to Australia.
You are welcome here.
Yeah, absolutely. And the attitude, if you need anything, just ask. The neighbor across the road came to Donnie and said, if you have to move big furniture and you need someone to carry, come and knock on my door. So that feeling of acceptance, creating the space for us to settle down, and the way they made us feel welcome, blew me away. It had me in tears, literally. I didn't expect that kind of kindness and acceptance. And the other thing that obviously was a wonderful surprise is the nice river in Perth. I mean, we're not used to rivers like that. And I must tell you, Chamonix, we went, my husband was here, and then he took us to City Beach from the airport, and we sat there on a bench, and I bawled my eyes out because, number one, it was really beautiful. Number two, there was a little pathway for me to run where I'm not going to be intimidated. And I sat next to a clean, free gas braai that we could use.
The little things in life, but it just shows you, if the little things in life are in place, then can you imagine what all the big things look like in this country?
Absolutely. And, you know, for me, the best way also to settle in is to watch the news and the breakfast shows. You quickly understand what's going on in the country, and you see the sentiment of people. And I've learned that older people are really valued and looked after. And I see the news presenter at night on 7. She's definitely not a spring chicken anymore. And she's still presenting the news because she's good. And she's valued, you know, not because let's get the next babe on the block to present the news. So that's something that I really appreciate as I see that. And also things like on the news at night, if someone's got a 50th wedding anniversary, it's on the news.
Yeah.
They celebrate these things, which is wow.
I remember one of the first things that we had when we moved to Australia was they made it the first news article of the day, or the news story on the 6 o'clock news, and you would know the 6 o'clock news is like big news. It was on the Narrows Bridge, you'll know, a very big famous bridge in Perth. They stopped the traffic because a mother duck and her ducklings were crossing the bridge. Wow. They stopped the whole freeway. The freeway here is like it's like the N1 in Joburg, Pretoria. They stopped it. so that the mother duck and her duck, like I say, they stopped. It stopped by itself because people are aware of animals, like they're aware of their surroundings and they care. Most people anyway, and they would not continue driving. The freeway stopped to a halt just so that this mother and her ducklings could cross the freeway. Amazing.
It's a different life. It's a different life. And I must say, the weight off my shoulders just to know that my daughter can walk to the park, especially now with the studying every now and again. She's got ants in her pants, then she gets up. It's just such a freer life. She can go with her friends to the beach. They can go for a walk. She can get on the train and the bus and go into the city, and I don't need to worry about that. That is the public transport. That's such an experience.
Amazing. Yes, love it. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us, Gerda. It's been first. Before I go, what do they call you here? Because I know it's Gerda, but what do the Aussies call you?
That was a big thing, I was actually christened Elizabeth Gertruida, and I said to my husband, maybe I should adapt Elizabeth because everybody knows the Queen. I saw on Zoom, if it came up Gerda, they call me Gerda, which is fine. I just go with that.
Okay. Oh, it was lovely to chat to you, and what a beautiful story about yourself and your family, and hope and courage and perseverance. And thank you so much for sharing. I do appreciate you taking the time. And I'm sure that we will be hearing a lot more of you. And if you can share with us the link to those beautiful, bright and colored art pieceworks that you were talking about.
Thank you.
Is it a shop or is it an online shop?
Yes, at this point in time, I'm developing it into an online shop, but at this point in time, it's more Facebook and Instagram, called the Whimsical Duchess of Oz. I'm going to do a few markets as well. I'm going to the Wembley Downs District Fair, which has been going since 1968, which was the year that I was born, so it's as old as I am. So yes, that's where we are. And then, like I said, I'm going to do the weight loss again, and then the coaching for the resilience. But thank you so much for the invitation. And I just want to say that where there's a will, there's a way. Don't give up hope. Australia is really a lovely country. It's a country of opportunity. If you teach your kids the correct principles and when you hold on to God, you will be fine. We do definitely have what it takes.
Oh, love it. Thank you so much again. And hopefully we'll be able to catch up for a coffee in person very soon.
That would be very nice. Thank you.
Thanks, Gerda. Take care. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you had fun, please remember to hit that subscribe button, and then it'll make sure that you never miss a thing. I'll see you same time and same place next week. Bye for now.